Hi everyone. So today we have a topic of central limit theorem. So basically, why I'm taking this topic? It's a stats topic. We all know that. So linking this to a finance topic, which means I am talking about this topic, but in relation to the real life use of this in finance. For example, in stocks, to be able to evaluate the price of the stocks in future, or to be able to evaluate the intervals in which the price of the stock will lie in future. So basically, why do we use central limit theorem and what is the meaning of it is, when we calculate a simple random sample from a population which has a mean of mu and variance of sigma square. So by seeing this, we will see like a population which has a mean of mu and variance of sigma square. For example, let's say we have this population which has a mean of mu and variance of sigma square, right? Now the sampling distribution of sample mean approaches to a normal distribution with a mean mu and variance sigma square by n. What does this mean? It means that now whenever we take, for example, this population has a mean of mu, but when we take a sample from of n, when we take a sample, right, so each sample has a different x bar. This is sample mean. So every time we take a sample, we will reach up to a different x bar, right? So that is what I'm saying, that by these we will reach to different x bar and we will reach to different standard deviation as well, or variance as well. All right, so what it says is this this sampling distribution of different x bars, when we take different samples from the same population, this makes a distribution which we say as sampling distribution, which is like this, or I would say like this. All right, so this is the distribution, we call it as sampling distribution. Now this distribution has a mean of mu which is same as the population mean and a variance of sigma square by n. It means that whenever we increase n, which means when we increase the number of observation in the samples, we will reach up to a smaller variance. All right, which means nothing but this distribution, it is closer to mu. All right, whenever we take a big n, it will become closer to mu, which is obvious because when you take a large sample from a population, it's obvious that you will get a closer mean to the actual population. All right, so it's obvious that whenever we take a large n, we will get small variance, which means that because this sampling distribution is nothing but a distribution of sample means, right? Whenever we get a small variance meaning that we are less far away from the actual mean. All right, so whenever we take a sampling, we are talking about sampling distribution, it is a distribution of the sample means. Whenever we have a less sigma, or we can say whenever we have a less variance of that distribution, it means that we are approaching towards mu, which means we are approaching towards the actual population mean. All right, so this is a very dirty diagram, I understand, but you get the point, right? That we are talking about a distribution which is the distribution of the samples we have taken by random sampling. We have taken a lot of samples and we took every time we take a sample, it comes out to be a different mean. All right, we have made, by this means we have made a different distribution which is called as sampling distribution. Now you can say that why we have made this distribution. We have made sampling distribution, or I can say central limit theorem, because it is easier because it approaches to a normal distribution. All right, this distribution, sampling distribution, approaches to normal distribution whenever n is greater than equal to 30. Now we all know that normal distribution is easy to deal with because it is easy for hypothesis testing and it is easy for calculating confidence interval as well, right? So it becomes easy for us to calculate confidence interval, in which basically means if we are talking about finance, that's where our price is going to lie between the interval of that and hypothesis testing, which means what if analysis, or we can say, right? So this is easier for us to analyze stuff in the future. So by creating, now one more thing, this population distribution does not have to be normal distribution. Alright, so because it is not always normal, we have made a sampling distribution which approaches to normal with a mean mu and variance sigma square by n, which makes everything easy, the hypothesis testing and confidence intervals. Alright, so let's say we have a population, we have a population which has a mean of 3.6 and standard deviation or variance, I would say variance of 5. Alright, we have took a sample of 30 observations. Alright, so now we have to calculate the mean of the sampling distribution and the variance of the sampling distribution. How will you calculate that? Simple, it is as simple as that, because for sampling distribution we have mean is same as population mean, which is 3.6 in our case, and we have variance which is sigma square by n, which is nothing but 5 upon our 30 observation that we have took, which is nothing but 1 by 6, and we can say 0.1 something is our mean or variance, of the sampling distribution. So it is as simple as that. Just one thing I want to make very clear, in finance we have took central limit theorem just because the population we are dealing with, which could be means either like the returns of a stock or the prices of the stock. Now we have to take sample of each and every, we can just to be sure that we are going through the right stuff, we took samples a lot of times and we made a sampling distribution of the mean and the standard deviation of the observations. Alright, now by this we can calculate our stuff easily. We can make confidence intervals. We know that how to make confidence intervals of the normal distribution. So that's why we have took sampling distribution, just to be sure that it is easier for us to calculate the further stuff of the future. Alright, thank you very much for watching.